is that, this insectoid DNA, okay, there's a very unique piece of this insectoid DNA that's actually separate from our full-on DNA dance. So I'm talking about the DNA dance being what your dad's DNA, your mom's DNA comes together and creates your DNA, and now you're born. But there is a separateness of a certain type of insectoid DNA, and that is what our mitochondria is mapped after. Our mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is the part of the cell that creates all of the energy. Matter of fact, the only reason your body needs to breathe oxygen is to feed your mitochondria. Okay? The mitochondria is fed by oxygen. And thanks to the beautiful work of Masaru Emoto, we understand that oxygen, hydrogen, and different molecules within our table of elements all equal a consciousness. And oxygen is love. So quite literally, the mitochondria in your body is fed by love. Okay? It's fed by the elemental atomic expression of love. Okay, here's another piece to weave in here. I know it's going to take me a while to weave this in because, this is really heavy, what you guys are bringing in here. It's a heavy feeling, and it's something that a lot of humanity suffers from right now. So, yeah, this is a good one. So all of our mitochondria in every single cell in our body, we have trillions of cells in our body. Every single cell has a mitochondria within it, and that's the powerhouse of the cell. It is fed by oxygen, which is the elemental expression of love. Okay, the atomic expression of love. Now, every single mitochondria creates energy, which is light heat. Okay, energy, light, heat, which is measured by BTUs. Okay, so every cell in your body is capable of producing at least 1 BTU. And we have trillions of these mitochondria in our body. Every single cell has one, without exception. Every single cell has mitochondria. I watched a talk with Zach Bush the other day, and it was absolutely fascinating. He said, and I love this so much. I so love and appreciate that man for what he's bringing into the world right now. But he said, in 1 square centimeter of your body, your mitochondria creates more BTUs, more light than our sun. In 1 square centimeter of your body, the mitochondria there has the potential to produce more light than the sun itself. Okay? So your body, within every single cell, has this massive ability, potential to radiate more light, heat, than the sun itself. 1,000 times the sun. Which means each of you, my dear darling starshines, each of you are a massive solar event. You are a massive stellar event. You are a star. Your biosuit is a star inside. Okay? That's the capacity. But so much of us is invested in these little dramas that we have going on in these different overlays. That's why we are staying solid. We're heavily invested into our wounding stories. We're heavily invested into why we have to do this and why we have to do that. So all that light that our mitochondria produces goes into holding those things in place, holding those realities in place, holding those consciousness grids in place. That is held in place by us all, by our feelings, thoughts, and I'm going to say emotions because they are different than feelings, in relationship to toxic masculine expression. Rage, anger, blame, controlling, okay, these different things. So we have experiences of this, and then we have all these thoughts and feelings about that, and then all that light, all that radiance goes into animating those experiences inside of us, holding, those emotions is stuck energy in motion. When we release emotions, it's a big release of energy. That's different than feelings. So once we get to the place where we don't have any more stuck emotions around this, we can just let it all move. Then we're faced with having to have the feeling, letting ourselves have the feeling and finding right relationship to that feeling, right? So when you think about this feeling of being trapped in a matrix or feeling stuck within a matrix of reality where you have to give life force energy, and imagine you're this infinite being inside. What's the missing piece here for you to recognize, to connect the dots, that you are excited as hell to come into this matrix and play this game? Some part of you is excited. Oh, hell yeah, I want to do that. Oh, hell yeah, I want to experience infinite potential with total blindness and amnesia. Okay. So just let that understanding settle in. And this isn't about right or wrong, good or bad. No, just let this understanding settle in, that you quite literally are a stellar event in this biosuit. This biosuit is so extraordinary. And things are as flexible as turning from particle into wave. Absolutely. We just need to be willing to let go and forgive. Start with forgiving oneself and then see where the forgiving takes you. Because forgiving, and I'm not talking about ego driver forgiving, I'm talking about on a spiritual level, forgiveness is so profound. It releases beings, not just you, not just your particles. It releases other beings as well. And right now we're getting so illuminated, the deeply buried archetypes, the shadow sides of these archetypes and the dark lords and all this stuff are coming to the surface for us to liberate within ourselves. The most beautiful liberation comes with forgiveness, in my opinion, in my experience. I've seen this happen over and over and over again. We've quite literally liberated leagues of dark lords by bringing forgiveness into the equation. And that means we can see beyond the dark lord role. This is an infinite being in an experience, and we get to why they're in that experience, what brought them to that experience. And that's what you need to get to within yourself. What is bringing you to this experience? What wants you? What is magnetizing you into it? Most of the time, the things that are magnetizing us into experiences we don't want or don't like or are painful is because that energy signature is stuck in our bodies. It's alive in our bodies and we haven't touched it yet. And because we haven't touched it, we're not able to let it go. You don't know what you don't know. This is why self-reflection is really powerful. And this is why working with Sasquatch is really freaking powerful, and other elemental beings are really powerful, because their mere presence, because they can see more of who you are, they can help you touch those things inside of you so you can have it, feel it, acknowledge it, and then let it keep moving on. Let it keep moving. It's no longer something that binds you to a toxic experience.